This video is brought to you by Nebula. Today, Turkey requests to join BRICS, Ukraine's foreign minister resigns, and the White House charges top Hamas leaders. From TLDR News, this is your daily briefing for Wednesday the 4th of September 2024. Our main story today is that Turkey will be the first NATO member to request membership of the BRICS economic bloc, according to an announcement by an official ruling Justice and Development Party. Named after Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, the BRICS group includes countries not listed in the acronym, such as the United Arab Emirates, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt, which all joined earlier this year. The bloc, which is spearheaded by Russia and China, sees itself as a counterweight to the Western-led global order, and is considered to be an alternative on the global stage to the US-led G7 group. In addition to improving bilateral relations between members, the associated BRICS Development Bank, based in Shanghai, offers both members and non-members an alternative to investment funding to Western-based International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. According to a spokesperson for Erdogan's ruling party, the country has, on multiple occasions, stated it's interested in becoming a BRICS member. Turkey participated in a BRICS summit in South Africa in 2018 and has maintained close relations with Moscow, despite Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Turkey is, however, also a NATO member and will become the first nation in the transatlantic alliance to join the BRICS bloc. Turkey is also a candidate to join the EU, and a former Turkish diplomat told Newsweek that the move has been driven by accumulated frustrations in Ankara with the West and the European Union. Essentially, EU membership talks between Turkey and the bloc launched in 2005, but following a crackdown and concerns on human rights abuses on Turkish opposition groups following a failed coup in 2016, talks have gone nowhere, and negotiations were even suspended in 2019. However, Erdogan has said he doesn't view BRICS membership as an alternative to membership in any other groups, and that the country remains officially a candidate to join the European Union. The head of an Istanbul-based think tank has said this is not the strategy by Ankara to replace the West, but it's a strategy to strengthen relations with non-Western powers at a time when the US hegemony is waning. Over the past decade, Turkey has sought to diversify its diplomatic and economic relations with the West, seeking greater cooperation with the Middle East and North Africa. Ankara sees itself as a possible economic bridge between the EU and Asia. For instance, the country recently attempted to negotiate a $20 billion development road project alongside Qatar, Iraq, and the UAE to increase the transportation of goods from the Gulf to Europe. Turkey also has aspirations to become a main hub for exports from Russia and Central Asia to the EU. By becoming a BRICS member, Turkey hopes to increase its strategic autonomy and become a leading world power, without having to align with East or West. There's more on the way, but remember to subscribe and ring the bell for more daily briefing tomorrow. Plus, if you want to support the channel like Zuhair Ahmed, then consider joining the new TLDR membership program for just $1.99. Moving to Ukraine now, where, in the wake of Russian missile strikes on Lviv, President Volodymyr Zelensky has reshuffled his cabinet, claiming that it will give new strength to the country. One of the most significant changes is the resignation of Dmytro Kuleba, who has served as foreign minister since 2020 and was one of the key voices arguing that Ukraine should accept weapons from international allies. Kuleba, though, wasn't the only government minister to resign. The reshuffle also saw the resignation of Alexander Kamyshin, the arms chief who oversaw Ukraine's efforts to produce weapons domestically, Denis Malyuska, justice minister who recruited convicts to the military, Irina Vereshchuk, the deputy prime minister who was responsible for the reintegration of occupied territories, and Olha Stefanishyna, another deputy prime minister who has overseen the push to join the EU. Speaking further about the changes, Zelensky added that autumn will be extremely important for Ukraine, and our state institutions must be set up in such a way that Ukraine will achieve all the results we need, for all of us. To do this, we need to strengthen some areas in government, and personnel decisions have been prepared. The US Justice Department has announced criminal charges against top leaders of Hamas over their roles in the October 7th attack in southern Israel. 6 defendants, 3 of whom are deceased, were named in the complaint unsealed on Tuesday. The charges include charges of conspiracy to provide material support to a foreign terrorist organisation, conspiracy to murder US nationals, and conspiracy to use weapons of mass destruction, resulting in death. The deceased defendants are former Hamas political chief Ismail Haniyeh, who was assassinated in July in Tehran, Mohammed Daif, who was killed in an Israeli airstrike on Gaza in July, and Marwan Issa, who Israel said it killed in an attack in March. The living defendants are Hamas's new leader Yahya Sinwar, who is believed to be in Gaza, Khaled Mashal, who is based in Doha and heads the group's diaspora office, and Ali Baraka, a senior Hamas official based in Lebanon. The US charges come as the White House says it's developing a new ceasefire proposal with its Egyptian and Qatari counterparts to try and bring an end to the fighting in Gaza. Some, however, worry that Washington's move to charge the Hamas leaders hurts the US's role as a mediator in the ongoing ceasefire talks, which have gained a new sense of urgency following the deaths of 6 hostages retrieved from Gaza over the weekend. Venezuela's authoritarian leader, Nicolas Maduro, has declared September smells like Christmas and has decreed that the festivities will start on the 1st of October. Whilst this is not the first decree of its kind, it is the earliest. This announcement comes amid worsening political instability in the country, following the controversial presidential election last month. Whilst Maduro claimed victory, independent polls have showed him trailing behind the opposition leader, Edmundo Gonzalez, and the election was widely criticised for its lack of transparency and fairness. Shortly before Maduro announced that Christmas is coming early, a Venezuelan judge ordered the opposition leader's arrest, accusing him of crimes associated with terrorism. Whilst Christmas is set to arrive for everyone in peace, joy and security, thousands of Venezuelans are set to spend this festive period behind bars amid Maduro's crackdown on political unrest. In the final uplifting story today, we discuss plans by LEGO to make their bricks more environmentally friendly. It's been announced this week that the toy maker has plans to make half the plastic in LEGO bricks from renewable or recycled material, rather than from fossil fuels, by 2026. Additionally, they've committed to switching entirely to renewable and recycled plastic by 2032. Last year, LEGO attempted to make bricks entirely from recycled bottles, but ditched them as a result of cost and production issues. It seems, though, that this has not deterred them, and that environmentally friendly LEGO bricks will be available to buy in the near future. And if you wanted to know more, that's not quite all, because we've actually made a new series with Nebula called WTF USA.
Look, as British people, we often cast a wary eye at our friends across the Atlantic. But honestly, the last few months have been especially wild. We've seen Biden bail from the race after a terrible debate.
My fellow Americans.
The red-blue divide making way for lurid green. Trump accusing Kamala of changing her race. Vance getting accused of couches. Endless memes about coconut trees, and endless arguments over crowd sizes.
This weird obsession with crowd sizes.
Obama making a joke, Trump talking about Biden like an ex he misses, RFK Jr. potentially having worms in his brain, before admitting to burying a bear in Central Park. Oh, and an assassination attempt that we all kind of forgot about because of all of the other chaos. I mean, honestly, WTF USA. The thing is though, while it might be tempting to just roll your eyes at these shenanigans, these aren't just meme-worthy moments. And you know I'm serious, because I've not stood up in a video since COVID. But these incidents actually pose important questions, like how much does the Gen Z vote matter this time round? How important will online campaigning and social media prove to be? What impact do running mates have? Okay, I don't have words for that one. These are the kinds of things we'll be explaining in our new Nebula original series, What to Follow USA, only on Nebula. Each week, we'll take the moments that have been dominating internet discourse and explaining the true politics under the hood. Look at me pandering to the American audience. We'll be releasing new episodes of What to Follow every Friday through to the election. The fact that it's on Nebula means we've been able to take more risks with this series. The tone and attitude of the show isn't what you'd expect from TLDR. I'm not sure we've talked about fucking couches on YouTube before, but the journalism and reporting is exactly the standard you'd expect ref. Nebula support also means that we can do things differently, create additional content for you, and tackle topics that the YouTube algorithm just wouldn't normally allow for. It's not just this new series on Nebula either though. There's also incredible originals on the platform like Modern Conflicts from Real Life Lore, or the upcoming documentary from Tom Nicholas, Boomers, which takes a provocative look at the lives and legacy of the baby boom generation. Plus, we also post all of our normal content on Nebula ad-free, and often before it ends up on YouTube. If you want to check all of that out, plus WTF USA, then head to go.nebula.tv/WTF, or click the link in the description. That way, you can pick up an annual Nebula subscription for a huge 40% off. We're really happy with how this new series has turned out, so please do give the series a look. We'd really appreciate it.